US President Donald Trump has once again refused to rule out an American ground invasion in Venezuela. In an exclusive conversation with Politico, Trump did not explicitly deny plans to invade the country, as he warned that Maduro's days are numbered. Now, Trump also widened the scope of the so-called war on drugs. During the interview, the American president was asked if he would carry out similar both strikes against Mexico and Colombia. Now, Trump replied, "Sure, I would." Trump's comments follow months-long military campaign against alleged drug boats. So far, the strikes have been limited to the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific. The strikes have come under intense scrutiny, both at home and abroad. Trump calls it war against narco-terror, but experts are pointing at potential international crimes. The developments come amid growing outrage over a leaked video showing what witnesses call a double-tap strike on a Venezuelan patrol boat. Now, the controversy stems from a September 2nd attack on an alleged drug smuggling boat in the Pacific. An initial strike left 2 survivors, with a follow-up attack killing both of them. Experts say the second strike was illegal. Now, as under US Law of War Manual, orders of leaving no survivors are not allowed. US senators, known as the Gang of Eight, have called on officials to release the video of the second strike. These lawmakers, Intelligence Committee, and Senate and House of Representatives leaders from both the parties were briefed by US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kien, and US Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
It was a very unsatisfying briefing. I asked Secretary Hegseth, Secretary of Defense Hegseth, would he let every member of Congress see the unedited videos of the September 2nd strike? His answer, we have to study it. Well, in my view, they've studied it long enough. Congress ought to be able to see it. I told him that every member of Congress, so many members of Congress, Democrat and Republican, had a right to see it, wanted to see it, and should see it.
According to sources familiar with this imagery, now the video of the attack viewed by lawmakers last week showed 2 men clinging to wreckage after their vessel was destroyed in the first strike. They were shirtless, unarmed, and carried no visible communication equipment. For more on the controversy over strikes on alleged drug boats, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sends us this report from New York City. Take a look.
A coalition of civil rights and advocacy groups, including the ACLU and the Center for Constitutional Rights, have sued the Trump administration over the release of a classified legal memo justifying U.S. military action and strikes on boats suspected of drug trafficking in Latin America. Now, these groups argue that the memo is vital for public oversight, especially since more than 20 strikes have occurred since September and dozens have been killed, and raises the question about whether or not the administration's claim of being in a quote-unquote non-international armed conflict with cartels is legally bound or not. They filed the lawsuit after their Freedom of Information Act request was ignored. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.